Good morning and welcome to day 99 northbound on the Appalachian Trail. Had a nice night at the Doyle Hotel. Had a very long rest, which is I think what we both needed. There was a party going on downstairs and lots of singing, but I heard nothing. And this morning had breakfast at Goody's Restaurant, which is right across the street. There were a lot of thru hikers there, and the breakfast was amazing. The people were so nice. They kept bringing out treats for Micah, scrambled eggs for Micah, leftover sausage for Micah. So Micah is very well fed. I kept mixing his eggs with his kibble, so he's got plenty of food in his belly. So this morning we're walking through the town of Duncanon, Duncanon, Pennsylvania. The Appalachian Trail actually goes right through the town. So we are doing a little town walk right now. And then, sorry, I have Micah on a leash, so every once in a while he pulls to smell something, which is what he just did. We're going to be crossing a river and then going into the woods. And then I hear that the major rocks, which is why they call Rocksylvania, Pennsylvania, Rocksylvania. I understand that the major rocks start today. So there is a shelter, Peter Mountain Shelter, about 12 miles from here. I was considering stopping there for the night, or maybe going on to a stealth site near a creek, which is 18 miles. So I'm going to see how I get to the 12-miler. It sounds like most people who are significantly younger than I am at breakfast were all going to Peter Mountain, all going to the 12 miles. So that's probably what I'll do and not try to be a hero and go further. Everybody's talking about the rocks and the heat for next week. Apparently there's a heat wave coming through and we're going to be in the high 90s next week. So everybody's talking about that right now on the trail and strategies and what they're thinking of doing and whatnot. So most people are just talking about dropping their mileage down and just not doing as much. With me and the dog, I think I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do yet. Probably try to get a very early start and then chill out in the middle of the day when it's super hot. So I don't know. I got to figure all that out as we go on. But right now, Micah is really enjoying being in town and all these smells. And I'll just flip this around so you can see. There's beautiful churches in town and some homes. Okay. I wanted to give a shout out to Morgan's Hungry Pets. They were wonderful yesterday. A store just a little bit behind me, a new pet store. I walked in there because I just needed a little bit of dog food for Micah just to get us through the next few days. I didn't need a lot and I didn't want to buy a whole bag of dog food. So she had all these samples that she got from other pet food companies that gave her a bunch of samples, and she gave me the samples, which amounted to 2 to 3 days of dog food. So nice. Really, the people in this town and in general, I can't say enough about how people just cater to each other and hikers. I mean, they know that what we have on our back is what we have on our back. So people have been super, super nice. And I can definitely tell you that at the restaurant we were just out, they kept bringing Micah food and treats, and you know, they were patting him, the employees were patting him, the thru hikers were patting him. Come on, Micah. And he got lots of love. So super, super nice. All right, he's still looking for places to smell. I think he's enjoying being in town. All right, and this is a Duncanon Municipal Building, And this Assemblies of God church, I think they take hikers in, or they used to, for like a little hostel. I think this is the place. Yeah, because they've got a hiker on there. They've got a hiker on their van here. So anyway, all right, so we're heading on. We'll be in town for a few more blocks, and then we go over a river and hit the trail. So, all right, I hope you're all having a great Friday. Okay, so we're currently going over the bridge. This is the Juniata River here. And this is a smaller river which jumps into the Susquehanna. And we're going to be going over another bridge in a few minutes, which is over the Susquehanna. So this is the smaller river. All right, and then we should hopefully get in the woods soon. All right, so we're over the Susquehanna Bridge. There's the Susquehanna River right there. As you can see, it's very busy and very noisy. And those mountains up there, that's where we're going. We're going up to Peter Mountain, up in that direction. So we will be out of this area very soon. But that's the Susquehanna River. Finally, we're getting out of the city and heading into the woods. Now, there was a note on the Far Out app that said, caution, that you have to cross these railroad tracks, and that if the train is in the way, that you have to go around, somehow get around the train. Well, there's the train that's parked, because it said there was a parked train. Can you imagine? I don't know if you could see, but that train goes, I can't even see the end of it. So thank goodness this train is pulled forward, because I don't know how else you would have gone around. Yeah, anyway, it looks safe to cross and we have a clear passage, so we're doing it. And we don't have to go around the train. I can't imagine. Maybe you could climb over it. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that was a very long, that was 2 miles of city road walking. And now we're heading up to the Appalachian Trail. Clark's Ferry Shelter is 2.6 miles ahead. I don't know. But anyway, we're not going to that one. All right, hope you're having a good Friday. And as we leave town, there's the river, there's the road, there's the trail. As you can see, we're going to be climbing for a while. And we're pack heavy, water heavy, but that's okay. That's why we're hiking the AT, right, Micah? But it's nice to get out of the city. All right. Yeah, so this is the view from on top of what we just climbed. And that must be the Susquehanna River, right? Yep. It has to be the Susquehanna River because that's what we just came over. And I'm here with No Nuts. There he is, he's waiting for ET, also known as Tim, coming up. And I think we're gonna continue just because we're slower than they are. How you doing, Micah? You doing all right? Beautiful views up here and gorgeous breeze. So nice. But Rocksylvania has definitely begun. I've been climbing over rocks and boulders, and the footing is definitely slower, but that's okay. I don't mind it. Who's in a rush anyway? Unfortunately though, I have misplaced my sunglasses. They're the kind that kind of get dark and light as you go into the sun, and then you go into the woods. I took them off when I got into the woods because I just wanted to not have them on my face, and I put them on top of my hat, which is what I usually do. And I think since I've been bending a lot, down a lot to climb over rocks. They must have fallen off, and I have no idea where they are. So, oh well. They were getting kind of scratched and beat up anyway, so honestly, I'm not going to miss them that much, but I probably will go into some, I don't know, some gas station and just buy a cheap pair of glasses somewhere. Oh, look at the falcon. I don't know if you just saw it fly by. Just get a cheap pair of sunglasses that I can wear when I'm in the bright sun, because otherwise in the woods you don't need them. Anyway, this is beautiful. Really enjoying the cool breeze up here. I'm going to pause for a minute. Nice farmlands down there. And then carry on. We are at the Clark Ferry shelter. We just stopped here. There's a spring. There's my pack over there to the left. We just stopped here to get some water. I bumped into a couple of southbound hikers, and they reminded me, which I had known, that at the next shelter, which is where I plan to spend the night, the water source is down a very, very steep embankment. He said there's about 300 steps to get to it. So he suggested that we get water here. It just means for a longer carry, but that's okay. I would rather fill up here. Both of my bottles are, my big bottles are full. I've been carrying them since Duncanon. And now I'm just going to fill my CNOC bag, which I wanted to show you. Here. I now have a new CNOC bag, which I got at the Outfitters in Duncanon because my old one sprung a little leak. It wasn't a big leak, and I probably could have used it, but little leaks can turn into big leaks. So I wound up throwing it away because no sense. So for $20, I just got another one. It's a 2-liter CNOC bag. I could feel it's a little bit more heavy duty, so I think they've improved it. And the closure looks like it's a little bit easier to open and close, so that's good. Little improvement there. And we're now walking down to this water source, to the spring, wherever it might be. I'm going to fill the bag, filter the water, and then probably take half of the bag full with me. Oh, and there we have a deer looking at me. Hi, sweetie. Hi, dear. Hello there. How are you? Are you going to wait till my dog chases you? There you go. And there he goes. But Micah knows not to go very far because he knows the deer are much faster. Yep, they're much faster. Thank you, Micah. All set. Good boy to come back. Yep. I also told those hikers that I saw heading south, I said, if you happen to see a pair of sunglasses, take them and use them. Because they're really nice sunglasses. They're a tiny bit scratched, but they're nice. They said it would give me great pleasure to know that, you know, hikers are using them. So I said, I'm not going back for them. And they're somewhere between where we're standing to where you're going. So I hope they find them and I hope they use them. Nice. Nice water source here. Nice piped spring. The kind we love. We just have to hold our bag over the spring, over the pipe. And Micah gets to drink downstream. So life is good. All right. More of the Susquehanna River, but from above. All right, well, I just came down to this parking lot and I have found Twizzler and Hobbly Girl.
Yes.
And they're from Pennsylvania and they also live in Florida. Where in Florida do you live?
Venice.
Venice. Oh, my sister lives in West Palm.
Okay, between Venice and Englewood.
Oh, okay.
On the west coast there.
Oh, on the west coast. Okay.
Yeah, right off of Minnesota Beach Road.
All right. And they are providing incredible trail magic. I just got homemade banana bread Oliver, I'm sorry, but you have some competition here. This is really good banana bread. And I got a Gatorade, and Micah got some treats, and they're just hanging out here doing trail magic.
Yep, just getting ready to leave. It started raining here a little bit ago, and we pulled the chairs in. So.
Well,
Otherwise you'd have had a comfy chair.
Well, I have a nice rock to sit on, so I'm very, very grateful, and thank you for providing your service. This is so awesome. Means so much to through hikers.
Well, you're
Thank
welcome. You're welcome. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting
And
you.
Maya.
Micah.
Or Micah, I mean.
Yeah.
So in the parking lot where I just received that wonderful trail magic, there are two vehicles there. Do you see the gray vehicle, and then there's a van with the back open. Those vehicles are support vehicles for Kristen Morgan, I think is his name, and he is trying to break the record for being the fastest runner on the Appalachian Trail. He started May 25th, and they are his support. He's doing it supported. So he's apparently in Duncanon now and should be heading this way. So I might even get to see him. I'm sure he'll go blowing by me. As we climb up to the shelter, this is our view. Really nice. Yeah, there was a little bit of rain, just a slight shower. I put our pack covers on, but I think we would have been fine without them. Very, very light. But there was a forecast for 45% chance of thunderstorms tonight, so we'll see. I probably will set up my tent anyway. So I think I'll get to the shelter pretty early. We're only about 3 miles from the shelter, and it's, what time is it? 3:30, so I'll get there in plenty of time. Get there before 5. Nice. And thank you again to Twizzler and Hobbly Girl for that amazing trail magic. So nice. I had banana bread, I got an orange for later, Gatorade. They topped off my waters. Micah got some treats too. So super. And they had been there, she said, since 9 this morning, and just feeding hikers. So nice. People are just so generous, and it warms my heart. So thank you again, you guys. More views on the way to the shelter, and you can definitely see some dark clouds there. There we're going. Yeah. They look like it could rain, but that's okay. Nice view here. All right. Well, I have to say we're about a mile from the shelter, and it got really dark and really windy, and I thought for sure it was going to pour, but it didn't. I mean, it's still dark, but it's not windy. So I don't know what the weather's going to do, but we're prepared for anything. It was an interesting hike today. You know, the first part was through the city, very hot, very noisy, city of Duncanon, and then climb as we got into the woods, and lots of rocks. Lots of rocks. Definitely slowed me down. And a few other people who I saw at the shelter at lunch said that the rocks really slowed them down too, so I don't feel so bad. And then this last part of the hike has been kind of cruisy, not bad at all. I mean, in terms of the terrain. A little bit of ups, a little down, but the rocks are a little bit less. So a little bit for everything. Any hiker today. We got a little bit of everything. Sorry, I'm a little brain dead. So yeah, we're almost there and feeling good. It will be 11 miles today, which honestly is fine. You know, when you're cruising through Maryland and it's completely flat, 11 miles, you know, you finish by 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you're like, well, I got to keep going, which is why it's easy to do your 19s and 20s. But as the terrain gets a little bit more challenging, you have to keep that in mind. And so your mileage might drop off a little bit. And that's okay. because it's not a race. All right, well, I'm going to put this away and focus on getting there and check in with you when I get there. Bye. This view is just right off the AT, right before we get to the shelter. It's called Table View Rock. Beautiful. Look at that view. All right, nice. Okay, so we made it to Peter Mountain Shelter, and this is a gigantic shelter. It just started to drizzle minutes before we got here, and it's been kind of like a steady light rain, but they are predicting thunderstorms tonight. So I have decided to stay in the shelter, and I know most of the people here. There is Mishak, who is going to sleep right there, and then Tommy, who is going to sleep there, who I met this morning at Goody's restaurant. And then upstairs to the left, there's a father and son who are backpacking together for Father's Day weekend. And Micah and I are going to be on the right. We're already set up there, and he's having his dinner. And I already tested him going up the stairs. He needs a little help, but it's not going to be a problem. We're going to stay down here until it's time to go up, and then we'll stay up there. So the temperature significantly decreased. There's a nice cool breeze up here. I mean, we're pretty high, but it's a really nice shelter. And looks like there's a weary hiker coming. And I'll let him know there's plenty of room in the shelter. So glad I got my water beforehand at that other shelter, because there's 300 steps you have to go down to get water. You can kind of see how high we are if I zoom in, but we're really at a nice elevation, and it's starting to brighten up a little bit, but they are forecasting severe thunderstorms for this evening. So I'm happy to be in the shelter. Okay, so who do we have here?
Mishnock,
And tell me where you're from
Portland, Oregon.
and where are you originally from?
Originally from New Hampshire.
Yay! New Englander, yay!
Yes, yay.
And tell me why you're hiking the AT.
I decided I wanted to do it when I was 14.
Wow,
So,
really?
50-year plus wish, so here I am.
Wow, that's great. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And you're meeting your husband in somewhere, you told me.
Yeah, what's the name of that gap? Not too far from here.
Well, anyway, you're meeting him at a Gap, and he's going to have new shoes for you.
New shoes, better sleeping bag for the weather.
Perfect.
Morale boost, all that stuff.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. What about up there? Can I interview you?
Sure.
Tell me about where you're from and what your name is, and why you're hiking the AT with your dad.
My name's Zach. I'm from State College, PA, so about an hour and a half from here. We're both from Pennsylvania, and for Father's Day, he just wanted to do a somewhat long hike, multi-day, so we met here halfway, and here we are. We got to meet all of you, and we're learning a lot.
Awesome.
We're a little bit newer to this, but I think we could definitely do it.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful. And are you having a good time?
Absolutely. Yep.
How many miles are you going to cover in the weekend?
About a little under 20,
Great.
but I think we could do 20 in a day if we had to.
Well, it all depends on the terrain and the
Yeah.
rocks and if it's wet and all that.
Right.
You learn that really fast. But, yeah.
My bed's not very comfortable though, so I'd like to submit a complaint.
Well, we could give you some suggestions, maybe.
We've already gotten them just by looking at your gear.
Anybody else?
With him.
We're good? All right. Well, I'm cooking dinner. I'm having the second half of my chicken and dumplings that I had the other night, and then my usual ramen with peanut butter, which I love so much. And Trail Magic gave me an orange, so I can't wait to open that baby, because fruits and vegetables are so important and so missed when you're through hiking. Micah already had his dinner. He's taken a little nap, and the rain seems to have stopped for now. We were looking for rainbows, but we do understand there's supposed to be thunderstorms tonight, so we're all gonna hunker down in here. Except for some of our friends who are hammocked. I hope they're gonna be okay. So Tommy here, who's doing section, no, you're not, you're doing
Flip-flopping.
flip-flopping. Okay. Tommy saw Kristen Morgan a few minutes ago run by, who is trying to break the record. We saw his support vehicles up at the Trail Magic area. And yeah, you said hello to him and he basically didn't say anything, right?
He was like, it was just garbled.
He was
running.
He's
so-
running. He's zoned. He's in his zone.
Yeah.
And he's trying to do how long for?
I think he has to do like 43 days or something.
He has to do 43 days to break the record. Wow. Crazy.